Yesterday it was very hot.
Yeah, yesterday was warm. And then you can do it for a 12.
Nyandarua.
And to start us off, I wish to call upon the CUC member, that is LSK, to make a few remarks.
They say any words on their behalf, may I ask that wherever they are seated, they may wave so that at least you can see them, my Lord. Thank you. Thank you. My Lord, as
The Chief Justice, the Honorable the Deputy Chief Justice, the Honorable the Governor and the Deputy Governor, all protocols observed. Wananchi, good morning. My name is Nancy Kanyago. I'm the project coordinator for a project we call the Judiciary Performance Improvement Project. It is a project where the World Bank has partnered with the people of Kenya through the judiciary in the transformation program of the judiciary. Therefore, through a loan to the people of Kenya, the World Bank is supporting construction of 40 courts in Kenya. And this county is blessed because the project is supporting the upgrading of engineer law courts as well as the construction of a high court in Kalau. In regard to engineer, as the Honorable Registrar of the Magistrate Court said, we held consultations with CUC members. You told us the kind of court that you required, and taking that into consideration, we designed a court, and I am pleased to inform that we are now advanced and ready to begin construction as of May. We anticipate that the contractor will be on board in April, and so we shall be back here in May to break ground on this court. For Kalau, we also have those plans, and we plan to be there in May to have the site handover to the architects. But for today, we are here in regard to engineer, and therefore I would like to present 2 copies of the final artistic impression of engineer. This is what we look like. It is going to have members such as the prison cells, the police cells, and offices for various officers such as the probation.
And Nyandarua County, we are
Justice, Deputy Justice Kalpana Rawal, the Governor Nyandarua County, Mr. Rebecca Mwangi, and the Deputy Governor Nyandarua County, the Honorable Resident Magistrate, Registrar Magistrate Court, Mr. Mulo, Honorable Magistrates and the Judiciary staff, esteemed members of the Court Users Committee present, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My Lord the Chief Justice, allow me to welcome you to the beautiful county of Nyandarua and to the Senior Resident Magistrate Court in Engineer. We are privileged this morning to receive you and your entire team in our midst. We constantly hear woeful tales of endless traffic jams and the endless meanderings of the denizens of the city of your abode. I want to assure you that life in this part of the country offers idyllic freeways, but even more, interesting things. Some of these, for instance, one early morning last week, the residents of Naivasha town were treated to the rare spectacle of a herd of hippos, which were browsing blissfully on the lawns within the CBD. While many whipped out their miscellaneous gadgetry to capture the Kodak moment, I understand sadly that a few entrepreneurs among them had ideas that went beyond mere viewing of the herd. On a serious note, however, we are acutely aware, Chief Justice, of your busy schedule, and for us, it is sheer serendipity that you have paid us a visit today, and we truly appreciate. Engineer Court opens its doors in April 2013 and is the first and only court of law in Nyandarua County. The court falls under the supervision of the High Court of Kenya at Naivasha, which was equally established in 2014, and I'm the first resident judge. As you can see, Chief Justice, the infrastructure of Engineer Court is rudimentary. 2 days ago, I came across an item which I think echoes a desperate cry for access to justice by the people of this county. Secondly, the article shows how important the establishment of this court, even as it looks, must be to the people of this area. Allow me to read 1 or 2 paragraphs of that article. This article was posted on the Facebook page of what is called the Nyandarua Development Forum. I believe the governor is much aware of that one. I will not give the name of the author, but it says, it was posted on Monday, December 5th, 2011. It says, Nyandarua County, a county without a single court. Access to Nyandarua County should have courts of law. Access to justice and fair administration of justice is one of the fundamental rights of citizens as envisaged under Article 48 of the Constitution. It is inconceivable that Nyandarua County, with a population of 596,268 as per the 2009 census, has no single court of law. Nyandarua County is one of the 5 counties of the former Central Province. Compared to the other counties, namely Nyeri, Kiambu, Murang'a, Kirinyaga, Nyandarua, is the least developed in terms of institutions and infrastructure despite its vast geographical size and economic potential. Nyandarua County residents remain a troubled lot as they look for justice in neighboring counties. The county headquarters is situated in Okalau and has no single judicial officer or institution to adjudicate emergent socio-economic and political conflicts. None of the 4 county parliamentary constituencies, namely Kipipiri, Kinangop, Okalau, or Nderagwa, has a single court of law establishment for provision of judicial services to the locals. The residents travel hundreds of kilometers to Nakuru and Laikipia counties to shop for justice. And it goes on to say that Naivasha or Nyahururu are the nearest courts, depending on the end of the county that one resides. And the other goes on to say how unfortunate that is. And then he goes on to say that lengthy distance from seats of justice provides room for gross miscarriage of justice and waste of vital hours of production. Residents arrested for various allegations are held for long hours before they are transported to neighboring counties for prosecution. And the situation is made worse by horrible, impassable roads. People who cannot afford judicial services due to long distances, travel costs, and other logistics find their rights trampled on becoming victims of discrimination. The administration of justice takes into account the socio-economic dynamics of specific areas in pursuit of equity and fair application of law. In criminal jurisprudence, the severity of sentencing considers realities and challenges facing the locality of its people. Neighboring county courts may not be able to appreciate the unique needs of the Nyandarua residents. The ever-increasing land disputes, poverty-related incidents, and general civil disputes must be adjudicated within the county. I will not read all of it, but I think this person, and I suspect it must be a learned French, it must be a lawyer. This person has clearly projected the problems that the people of this county have encountered because of lack of courts of law within Nyandarua County. It is true that this court, engineer court, is only the first, but looking at what we have just read, the symbolism of the establishment of this court is loud. And from the statistics that were read to us by the magistrate who is in charge of this place, the residents of the county chief justice have shown confidence in and are making full use of the court to settle their disputes. And we therefore hope, Chief Justice, that resources will be made available, and indeed I confirm are being made available, so that the people of Jabili, Tulaga, or Karao can have their own courts. In this region, as well as Narok County, which is also supervised from Naivasha, there is a constant request wherever we visit that environment and land courts be set up to handle the hundreds of pending land disputes. We are hoping, my Lord the Chief Justice, that when the new judges are eventually appointed, judges will be posted to these counties to help with the administration of justice. Finally, Chief Justice, allow me to appreciate the magistrates and the staff of this court, because they have not allowed the obvious challenges in this court to dim their enthusiasm for problem solving. Yesterday, we had a short meeting here, and I was awed by a demonstration of an innovative case management system that they have created. I am told that when the system is finally operational, it will only take an SMS for litigants and advocates at whatever location to establish the status and the details of their cases. I ask that we celebrate that spirit of innovation. Hongera sana. It is a pity, Chief Justice, that today, as we welcome you, we were unable to command a spell upon the local peoples or their counterparts, the just friends from the Abadeas, to mount a guard of honor at Virginia this morning. But we say that we are truly honored that you have visited us, and we are sure that you're going to visit us in even better times when we open our brand new court. Asante.
My Lord, the Honorable Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya, and the Chairman of the Supreme Court, your Deputy, the Judge in charge of the National High Court, Governor, Regulator, and Samongi, members, Parliament, Kinango, and Stephen Brokin, the Deputy County Commissioner, and you stayed very far from the Deputy County Commissioner. And Kunga, we have had a seat here, yes, so that you know what we are doing. We do the thing very fast. Yeah?
You should be here.
Yeah, you come here. That is the Deputy County Commissioner for Nyandarua South. There is also a slight problem here, because this is not supposed to be Nyandarua South. It's supposed to be Kinango. Nyandarua South is where you started. Sometimes our geography fails us, but it was a real problem, and people know this. The Honorable Chief Justice, before I invite the member for Kinango to make a few remarks, I would want to say, when the governor got an invitation and he called me, he told me that you're coming to this court. I went through my university files, looked for an article which used to be very popular when we were at the university, which was written by none other than yourself. And this article really tried to address some of the malpractice and corruption in this country. And that was actually, the title was, Who Will Bail the Cat? Remember that article? And now I have no doubt in my mind, in this country, the person to bail the cat will be none other than the Chief Justice, William Mutunga, so that we can really avert this advice. Because you wrote that article, we read it when we were students with a very sharp mind, and we've been wondering whether this cat will be bailed, and now we can see the time to bail the cat is now, even in engineer, opening a court in engineer, and actually bringing justice to the locals. That's actually the time to bail the cut. I'm sure those who have gone through the university must have read that article, not necessarily those who are doing law. It was a popular article read by those who are doing even engineering, because really we need to build this cut, especially we have to fight this vice called corruption. With those few remarks, I now call upon Boro to come and make few remarks.
Justice, magistrate of court here, judiciary, technical commissioner, all the county officers who are here, ladies and gentlemen. Mine is a great day. I like to tell the Chief Justice I happened to be lucky. The World Bank came and they were asking the members of Parliament, the counties that do not have a court. It happened that I'm lucky, I'm a member of the Budget Committee. I was there. I was the first one to say that Nyandarua County doesn't have a single court. Nyandarua County doesn't have even a magistrate court. Nyandarua County doesn't have even its headquarters. It is one of the counties that have got various challenges. And I would like to take this opportunity because you are obviously that you have said in that meeting, that was the former chief registrar, concurred with us, and we agreed that we were going, as members of the Budget Committee, we are going to set aside some amount of money, first and foremost, do some renovations, which I have seen has been carried on. So I would like to take this opportunity to tell you and to assure you, Honorable Chief Justice, that we are doing all the best we can. Like just the other week, we had a very heated debate whereby we were proposing, some members were proposing there is this amount that we have allocated to you for courts all over the country. Some members felt that those monies ought to have been given to the Minister of Lands and Housing for them to execute, but we said no. Judiciary is an independent body, and it ought to be given money under the JSC, Judicial Service Commission, so that it can be fully independent and it can be able to execute its mandate according to the Constitution. So I would like to assure you, Honorable Chief Justice, that I'm standing with you as a member of the Budget Committee and as a member of Finance. We normally meet with the World Bank. We will stand firm that the independence and the way you are conducting the judiciary, we are fully satisfied. Some of us who know where we have come from and who knows where we are, I would like to take this great opportunity, first and foremost, to thank you most sincerely. I also participated in making the decision of that Nyandarua, being one of the counties that doesn't have any high court or low court, and also a headquarter, the World Bank officials who were in that meeting also agreed to fund the high court in Nyandarua. And I would like to thank you most sincerely, because most of the department in government, the funds are normally diverted, they are allocated to these counties, then they end up being diverted to their counties. I would like to take this opportunity because we have dispensed legal justice, and Kenyans now are starting to see the fruits of the new constitution, and especially the independence of judiciary. I'd like to take this opportunity to tell you thank you so much on behalf of my constituents. I have now got a law court. There is another court which is coming up. I'll give you the support that I can. So anytime that a budget is being done, the Judicial Service Commission or Judiciary wants something, be knowing that one of the members of Budget and Appropriation Committee comes from one of the most poorest counties, which is Nyandarua. And I will take this chance to say thank you so much. May God bless you. We are going to stand with you and make sure that this court is a reality. Our High Court is also a reality before 2017, and may God bless you. Thank you so much.
President, Judge, MP for Kinago, Your Excellency the Governor and the Deputy MCAs present, court users, the provincial administration, all protocols observed. Good morning. I am the person who has been referred to as the Speaker of the County Assembly of Nyandarua. I also actually tap up as the Chairman of the Nyahururu chapter of the Law Society of Kenya. The only issue I wanted to raise about this, I'm very happy about the court that was to be constructed here, but also disappointed about what has happened in the past. Like when you look at this court of justice, you find that it was done during the colonial times, but the building is still intact. The same case applies to the court in Nyahururu, the old court that was built during the colonial times. But the court that was built 5 years ago in Nyandarua. It's already leaking. The doors cannot close. There are cracks on the walls. We hope that what will come up here, because I know, as the Deputy Governor said about repairing the cut, because obviously money was expected to build a good court, but what came out was a bad court. I believe that we shall have a good court in Guinea. The second issue, Chief Justice, is that we have a lot of backlog of cases, and some of these problems are caused by, I believe, the magistrates' courts declining jurisdiction. There is no way we shall resolve the issue of backlog of cases when a magistrate cannot even remove a portion. That we have to file a case in the High Court for the removal of a portion. That these matters of land, a magistrate will deal with the issue of ownership of land, but then decline jurisdiction when dealing with the title. All of the matters, like in Nyahururu, all matters we deal with on title, the magistrates have declined the jurisdiction. And that was very clear. And the judgment of Nyandarua is very clear, that the magistrate can deal conclusively with the issue of ownership of land, including the title, what matters is the pecuniary jurisdiction. So I think this one, to beat the issue of backlog, you have to address that issue. Because the problem, I'm happy the magistrate from Nyandarua is here, and we have tried to engage, it is impossible. So we are taking to the environment court matters of removal of portion, matters of title, whether it will be cancelled or not, when the pecuniary jurisdiction is there. We know that you have good intentions, but without support from the very grassroots, these things will not happen. Hawa watu watashinda wakienda Nakuru, wakikimbia everyone in the High Court, and these things will not happen. I have a petition, because you have requested for a High Court registry in your Crown and in Nyahururu, and I'll be giving you the petition. Otherwise, I'm very happy and welcome, and we know the seriousness with the issue you are taking the Nyandarua case of writing a hike.
The Speaker has addressed
My Lord, the Chief Justice, the Deputy Chief Justice, all honorable members present here, is because we had agreed, these being lawyers, they should be able to bear the cut from within here. It gives me great pleasure to have attended this meeting today as your lordship has a date with the junior reports and Nyandarua County as a whole. Your visit to Nyandarua County today is exciting to us because we have always looked for an opportunity to raise many issues touching on the administration of justice in our county. Luckily for us, this chance has presented itself, hence we are very grateful for your lordship's visit to Nyandarua. Allow me to bring to the attention of your lordship the fact that Nyandarua County is part among very few counties in Kenya today that have had to do without law courts within its borders. Indeed, our people have had to seek for justice from courts located in Naivasha town, in Nakuru town, and in Nyahururu, which are outside our county and also very costly because of the distance involved. Indeed, suspects arrested by police in Kinangop sub-county have for years been transported to Naivasha to face trial, while those nabbed in Kipipiri, or Kalau, or Jorok and Daragwa sub-counties have been referred to law courts in Nakuru and Nyahururu towns. Apart from causing delays due to transport logistics, the absence of law courts within our county has always adversely affected our people involved in several cases in courts as they are forced to travel long distances in search of justice. The establishment of engineer law courts recently served to relieve the police from the burden of transporting suspects all the way to Naivasha. However, suspects who appear in this court and are sent to remand awaiting hearing for their cases are referred to Naivasha Maximum G8 prison. This means that each time the remandees have to appear in court, they have to be transported to engineer from Naivasha, which is quite costly. Not to mention delays in hearing of the cases due to transport challenges. I also need to point out to your lordship that engineer law courts, though a good relief is not adequate in terms of capacity and facility, to serve the people of Nyandarua South. Utilities such as holding cells need to be provided to supplement the existing facilities. And I have information, Your Lordship, that the old colonial court, which was based in Praga, we have facilities there which could be converted overnight into Limadi's homes. Your Lordship, we the people of Nyandarua County would highly appreciate if you kindly agree to urgently establish a mobile court in Okrao Town headquarters. My administration has written to Your Lordship's office and discussed with the officers requesting for a mobile court. The county government is currently rehabilitating a building in consultation with the local court, which will be ready by May to serve as a county court. A small budget of 3 million shillings has already been approved by our county assembly to facilitate this project. If this is granted, the court will cut long journeys in search of justice and other high costs arising from enforcement of court orders. Your Lordship, my administration would appreciate if you considered putting up a prison facility, which I've just mentioned, on a piece of land in Traga in North Kinangop that was previously used as law courts in the 60s and the 70s. We have adequate land in this area, and I believe a prison facility will help to cater for suspects who are convicted by courts within Nyandarua County, and also to be holding ground for suspects in remand. Finally, Your Lordship, I wish to remind you of the World Bank project started 2 years ago of putting up high court facilities in selected counties. As Your Lordship is aware, Nyandarua County was chosen among the counties that would benefit from this project. We identified that in Okrao Town, just behind the present location of the county commissioner's offices. The 3-acre piece of land was added to the judiciary by my administration in 2013 and was to be fenced off, awaiting the project to kick off. Unfortunately, this project is yet to start, and I will call on Your Lordship's intervention in this matter. I wish to thank Your Lordship for finding time to visit Nyandarua County so that you can see firsthand the challenges we face in the administration of justice. I am optimistic that you shall address these issues in the interest of our people. With those few remarks, my Lord, can you address this guy?
Okay, good morning to all of you. My job this morning is very, very simple, and it has been made simpler by my sister, the resident judge Mary, because she has given the background why it was necessary for engineers to have perfect, modern, and a strong like the colonial ones, the fort. So I think your dream will be coming true very, very soon. And this was really a judiciary, and I think especially after the Constitution was inaugurated and Chief Justice took the control of the judiciary. That was his dream for the excessive justice, and we are trying to fulfill it slowly but very, very firmly. And I'm sure that you will appreciate. If there is any delay, there must be some logical and good reasons for it, and you will excuse us if there is some delay. I don't have much to say, but except that it is my duty and a very pleasant duty to welcome the Honorable Chief Justice to come and really give us the ground and the background. Thank you very much.
Although I know the Honorable MP is here, he might also agree with me that we should be quarreling a lot about titles. And I was saying that there was a time when the term president was protected and was only used to refer to to the president. But now we have many presidents, and I actually tell this story of receiving a letter from the village and it was signed by the president of the funeral committee. Devolution is a train that has left the station. It cannot be reversed. I'm very, very happy that resources are coming to the counties, which is very, very, very important. I'm sure once your governor gets the resources, he's not going to start talking about President Uhuru. You'll have to make sure that he accounts for those resources and there are developments that are taking place. And that is very, very, very good for the, for the country. And I hope there will be good relations between the MCAs, the governor, the central government, because all these representatives serve the people. You are elected by the people, and I sometimes pained when I see that there are these, conflicts between the elected representatives. There should be unity of purpose, and we should focus on the people now as the Constitution requires. The inauguration of this court is the judiciary's statement of apology for the historical neglect the residents of Nyandarua County have suffered over many years. So we apologize. We know you have had to cover very long distances on extremely bad roads to reach courts in Nyandarua and Naivasha. And those who are familiar with the terrain in Nyandarua and the vagaries of weather know that even the new tarmac hides the inaccessibility of many parts of this area. We have already been told that Engineer was the original site of the African court, which relocated 7 kilometers away to Laga, and it was presided over by a lay magistrate until 1985 when he died. And he was never replaced until March 2013 when the judiciary decided to open the court at Engineer. It's the only court in the county. You requested that there should be a mobile court in Tolanga. The judiciary agrees. This court has a Land Rover now, and the staff here is very, very efficient and very effective. We should be able to use the facilities in Tulaga, and the governor has said that he will help in the refurbishment so that they can be utilized. And we'll make sure that this mobile court starts immediately and starts serving people in that area. The statistics from the first year and subsequently one have more than justified the decision to open the court here. And those statistics have been given. In 2013, there were 895 criminal cases filed at this court, 312 traffic matters and 52 civil cases. And last year, the number of criminal cases rose to 1,173, with the traffic increasing to 322 and the civil declining to 16. And I've been informed that the court also handled a fair number of children matters and succession causes. This year, it's at Friday, March 20th, 2015, there are already 285 criminal cases and 63 traffic registered. We've looked at the percentages that the magistrate has given us, and we're very, very, very happy that we are very well represented by our staff here. And as you can see, if you have seen our staff, I'm also very happy that they look healthy and well dressed. And this is because of your taxes that you have paid. The judges and magistrates are well paid. And that's why I keep on telling Kenyans wherever I go, you don't have to bribe them anymore. And you should be letting us know who is asking for bribes, who is, delaying your cash bills when you're getting deposits back. You should know that we have opened offices for that kind of thing, so that you don't have kuchota ili uhudumiwe. Okay, but if the Kenyans talk about corruption and they still keep paying it, you still bribing people. When we open institutions for you to report who is being bribed, you don't come forward. Bas, kama vile mtukufu rais mmoja alisema wakati mwingine, mjichome na mafuta yenu, mjikarange na mafuta yenu. If you are not going to tell us who is asking for bribes, it's very, very, very difficult to fight corruption in the courts. But we want to be missionaries of justice and just, give you service. And I use the word missionary here properly, because the other missionaries ask for tithes, 10%. We are not asking for that because we are already paying our salaries. These numbers suggest that the demand for justice is growing in this area, and the judiciary has an obligation to rise to this demand. And for the past 2 years, the budget the judiciary has presented to the National Assembly has included a request for funds to build a proper court in Nyandarua. Let me say that we get our monies from the parliament, and that is your money. So when you demand courts, when you want us to build courts, also make sure that you make that demand to your MP. I'm very, very happy that is in the budget committee of parliament, where our budgets are religiously sliced. So, when there are no courts, please don't blame the Chief Justice. First of all, make sure mnaenda kwa mheshimiwa, mnamuuliza kwa nini judiciary hatujapatiwa pesa za kujenga koti mahakama Nyandarua. Masikia? The award of the construction tender is expected today, with the contract expected to be signed next month. We expect to be here in May for groundbreaking ceremony. The court will have 3 chambers, 3 courtrooms, a Huduma Center. There will also be offices for prosecution, probation, and advocates, as well as separate inmate cells and a library and children's room. As you are aware, the law requires the judiciary to establish a high court in every county. And I wish to thank the county government and the governor for donating land where we will construct a high court in Olokalaw to be completed in 2017. The site will be handed over to the architects in April this year, and we expect work to begin soon thereafter. Now, although great effort has been made to turn this dream into a reality, we are confronted with the numerous instances of contractors, sometimes with the collusion of our own staff, to deliver incomplete and substandard works. And I think that's what the Speaker of the County Assembly was talking about. Costs are being inflated, designs arbitrarily altered, and the project managers failing to exercise due diligence in the supervision of construction work. I want to make it very clear that the contractors who are going to build this port are not going to import workers outside this place. Okay, there are a lot of people here who can do this kind of work. It has happened in Kitui, Kangama, and other places. So any contractor who thinks that they are going to start bringing workers from outside this location will not be allowed to do so. And the materials also, I'm sure there are shops here that sell timber and other stuff. And it's part of this decentralization of resources. So, but it's up to you. It's up to you. You are welcome to come and see what is being built, the kind of materials that are going to be used, so that you can actually make sure that you don't get a substandard cost, right? That's what public participation is. You can come and demand from the contractor the building plans and the materials that they are using and so forth. And make sure that you don't get a court that starts leaking because you didn't supervise. These are your resources. This loan from the World Bank, we're going to pay it back. And your children and our children will be part of the payment. So why can't we as a people make sure that there is no corruption in what is going to be built here? So I'm challenging the people of Nyandarua, the elected representatives, to make sure that this building is probably the first one in the country where we don't have any allegations of corruption. And let me make it clear to all those to whom the judiciary awards construction contracts, judiciary funds and extra scrutiny, costs will not be varied to create opportunities to extend works beyond what has been planned. The architects, quantity surveyors and other professionals assisting the judiciary with construction need to know that this is not a hit and miss game. The judiciary is not the only institution carrying out construction, so the projects it undertakes must compare with what other entities are undertaking in the public and private sector. The planning and design must not leave or create opportunity for drastic revisions such as being suggested. So, the people of engineer just become askaris, make sure that there's no corruption in this in the construction of this port. And if there are anything that you see happening which shouldn't happen, you know that the Constitution has given you the right to arrest people, right? Although you don't exercise them, you are supposed to arrest thieves and other people who commit crimes, hand them over to the police. And the last thing I wanted to say, also saying to the people who are here, and it's something I tell fellow citizens everywhere I go, you haven't had a court in this county for many years. But I'm sure you have been taking your disputes to your elders, to your bishops, to your pastors, and the other people you trust that they will give you justice. So as we build courts, let's not forget that we still have among us men and women who we can rely on to arbitrate between our disputes. I always tell people that if a brother sues a brother or sister and they come to our courts, that is the end of that brotherhood or sisterhood. That's the end. The courts don't give you that relationship. Once you are in the court, that's it, you are enemies. And I always get very, very, very concerned that members of the family should be suing, each other in courts, when actually they should be able to arbitrate as a family. And in a lot of these family courts, my experience is that there is one member of the family is a crook and is the one who is causing problems. And that's why they don't want to listen to the elders, to the pastors and other people. They want to come to court where they can probably bribe us and get what they shouldn't be getting. So we should go back, to a traditional justice system. That's what Article 159 says in the Constitution, traditional justice systems. Because you have to go to a place where you are convinced you get justice. And I think it's important that we revisit those systems. We have having discussions with the elders, councils, and others, because I think those councils, if they can respect the women and the youth, they should be able to administer justice as well. And we are going to try and see how we connect formal systems and informal systems so that access to justice is not just to these buildings, but is access to forums of justice, that exist. And as we build these courts, we talk about distance. That is only 5% of Kenyans who use those courts. The 95% use other forums, and those ones have to be developed as well. And as we talk about also distances and the courts, let's remember our brothers in other parts of the country who also need courts. Here we are talking of people going to Naivasha and Nyahururu. When I visited Turukana and Moyale, the distances are unimaginable. People move from Moyale to file cases in Meru. And that's why we have to look at these alternative systems as seriously as we can. Na tuache kusema all the time tutakutana kotini. Well, tutapeleka kotini. Firstly, we've got to listen to our own elders, our own leaders. You can go to your governor if you have a dispute. You can go to your MP. You can go to the deputy governor. Let's try all these forums as well. I'm not saying that I'm advocating for courts to be closed down. The only thing I would advocate to be closed down in this country are the prisons. But courts will be, will be there. So we'll come back here in May, God willing, and then we start building this court, and I would expect the eyes of every citizen in this county as we build those two courts to show the rest of the country that constructions can take place in this county which has been marginalized, which did have courts, so that they can take place without any whiff of corruption. Because unless we deal with corruption, unless we deal with it, there will be no resources for hospitals, there will be no resources for education, there will be no resources for food. So these are your own resources that you should protect. And even if it's your brother who has stolen, please don't protect them. Don't protect them. I know my community, as a very stupid saying that if your brother is a snake, is your brother. I don't think a snake can ever be my brother. So a thief should not be your brother or as your sister. And if somebody from your community is stealing, don't protect them. That has been the problem. People will steal, and then the community is behind them, saying we are being finished. And then how are you being finished and you are not there when the money was taken? It wasn't given to you. You're probably not even wearing shoes when you say that the community is being finished. So please let this country change. And the way to change it is we've got to focus on these ethnic divisions and make sure that we live as a people. Nyahururu, I don't know who else. I mean, in this county, there might be other communities, but I know the majority will be the Kikuyu nationality. And so, there's no reason why you can't work together and develop this county. Make sure it's the best county, in this country. And if you want His Excellency the Governor to be president of this country, because all governors are potential presidents, thank God, there are too many now. If this county becomes the beacon for progress in the entire country, I'm sure your governor will be voted in the State House next time. I'm sure. Everybody is watching counties to see how they develop and how the resources are shared. And that's how we'll be judging governors and deputy governors. So we should thank God for a very progressive constitution, and it's now my honor to give that constitution signed by me to His Excellency the Governor, because like me he has sworn to protect it and to protect all of you. You see, the word His Excellency is there. Good is from the judiciary.
Thank you very much.
And the third one is mine.
That is Mayor.
Simpinga makofi.